Welcome to Notorious, a behind-the-scenes look at the world's most ruthless music managers. I'm Bill Dumaine. The most notorious rock and roll manager of all time was born on June 26, 1909 in Breda, a small town in the Netherlands. His name was Andreas Cornelis van Kuyk. He was the seventh of 11 children, and his family nicknamed him Dries. Dries was an energetic and restless kid. In fact, he was so restless, he had an odd characteristic. He slept with his eyes open. And he would often sleepwalk and end up on the street, headed out of town, as if he was trying to escape his family and his life. Like a lot of little boys, Dries hated going to school and to church, and he would often daydream. And like a lot of little boys, those daydreams would revolve around running away with the circus. Except that's eventually what Dries did. As a teenager, he was working on the docks in nearby Rotterdam, helping sailors unload their boats as they came in from exotic ports. And being around that scene gave him an idea. One night, he slipped onto one of the boats as a stowaway. It was bound for America. He left everything behind. His clothing, his belongings, his friends, his family. He also left behind a shadow of suspicion as a person of interest in the murder of a local merchant. It looked like a robbery gone wrong, a young woman bludgeoned to death, and an empty cash register. A few weeks later, Dries washed up in Mobile, Alabama. This was America at the end of the Depression, and he worked for a while as a dog catcher. He did a stint in the army. He learned to speak English. And soon enough, he gravitated back to his first love, the traveling circuses. Over the next 20-some years, he learned everything there was to know about being a carny. He trained ponies and dogs, he told fortunes. He bilked people out of their money in games on the Midway. He wore a derby at a jaunty angle and smoked cigars. But his favorite thing was watering the elephants. He loved elephants. Even more, he loved that he could control elephants. He found if you put a rope around the neck of a young elephant, you could lead it anywhere. Even when the elephant grew up to be full size and could easily break the rope, it didn't possess the necessary intellect to overcome the earlier training. A little foreshadowing here. Being a carny was a great life for Dries because he was around people just like himself, many of whom were on the lam, or trying to forget their former lives or outrun dark spots on their past. Most of them had several aliases. By the early 1950s, Dries had branched out into the concert promotion business and was working with Grand Ole Opry stars Eddie Arnold and Hank Snow, bringing his big top savvy to promoting their shows. On that circuit, he started to hear about a young man out of Memphis who wore pink sports jackets and eyeshadow, and who could cause young girls to scream and faint just by the way he moved his hips. Dries wanted in on this. He started to attend the young man's shows, watching from the shadows. He didn't like the music much, but he knew a moneymaker when he saw it. And finally, on the night when he stepped forward to shake the hand of a 19-year-old Elvis Presley, the former Andreas Cornelis van Kuyk extended his hand and said, "Young man, I'm pleased to meet you. My name is Colonel Tom Parker."